Well, joining me now is Jimmy Broadhouse from Bilston, a.k.a. Jimmy the Mower. Right, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah, you all right?
Yeah.
Great sound effects, I love that.
Thank you. I've always got a mower to hand. You never know when you might need one. How are you today? You having a good Thursday?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks, I'm all right. You certainly don't need a mower at the moment. My goodness, it's wet out there.
Where do we find you now? Are you on the job? What's happening?
We're actually down in our unit today, just servicing mowers, doing bits and pieces, just idling away a few hours, I think, just waiting for it to dry up so we can get the big machines out and get cutting.
Tinkering. Well, goodness, I've got so much to talk to you about. I suppose we ought to start at the beginning before we get onto the wet weather and how on earth you're supposed to mow in all this and keep your blades clear of the grass. But yeah, going back, I love it that you're Jimmy the Mower. Have you? I'll do the standard question. Have you always loved mowing, Jimmy?
Have I always loved mowing? Not really. I used to be a retail manager. And I just discovered I had a sort of passion for grass, and retail management wasn't fitting in with family life. I left and did other things, ended up working for a parish council. The chap who used to look after the football pitches wasn't very well, and they asked me if I got any interest in doing it. I said, yeah, I'd love to have a go. And then it just went from there. That was about 15, 16 years ago, I think. So, I think we've come a long way.
Your office, i.e. the pitch or whatever it is you're doing, you have got the best smelling office of all time, haven't you?
Yeah. It is a nice smell. It takes a bit of getting used to when you're with it like day in, day out. But yeah, it is a nice smell. I do admit that, especially when the sun's shining and it's nice and warm and you feel the warmth on you, the sun warming your face, and it's,
and you're outside,
chugging along on a mower, enjoying the fresh air.
You've got quite famous, haven't you? I was having a look at you. I was stalking you. No, I wasn't. I was having a look at you this morning, though, online about this tweet that you did that got millions of views. Tell everyone about that.
Yeah, it's a few years ago now. It all started down at Bilbrook, and I just put kids' football pitches, cricket outfields, children's play parks, public land really, and parks and things, and I just try and put a bit of extra effort in everywhere I go. And as I've sort of progressed through my career, we get better machinery and it frees up a little bit of time. You can do a bit extra. And I cut in a football pitch next to the tip, and I was really pleased with how it looked, but I couldn't get a photograph of it to send to my friend who was on holiday at the time without getting the tip in the background. So I just sort of took the photograph, sent it to him, and I thought I'll put it on Twitter and just show everybody what I'm doing today. And I just wrote underneath, it may only be a council pitch next to the tip, but to the kids around here playing football, it's Wembley. So I always cut it like it is. And I think that's sort of struck a bit of a chord with people. And I got picked up by the BBC and went on Midlands Today. And then I got an invite down to Wembley, and BBC Midlands Today came down to Wembley to see me there. I was on the One Show, and it sort of spiralled, and now I do a lot of sort of YouTube videos showing people how to maintain small garden mowers and gardening equipment and things like that. Just educational things, trying to help people out wherever I can. And it's a good medium on YouTube. I've got over 5 million views on my YouTube channel, so there's obviously a lot of interest in what we do,
I love you already. Tell me what it was like. I've got goosebumps just wishing it would been me. Did you go out on your ride on mower? Did you go out the tunnel onto Wembley's pitch?
No, you're not allowed ride on mowers on there because
aren't you?
No, you have to walk. Yeah, use a walk behind mower, pedestrian mower, and they use a team. So if you look at the end of an England match or whatever, and the pundits are still in the studio, and you'll see them walking up and down after the game, and they use small mowers then, rotary mowers. So after the game, they're just lifting up any bits of debris that are on the pitch, broken blades of grass, little bits of dirt, etc. Basically vacuum it all off. And then the next day they'll go out with the cylinder mowers and they'll cut them. They're sharp as like brand new scissors, and they'll just walk up and down and just clip everything so it's perfect. And that's the sort of mower that I used, a walk-behind cylinder mower. And it was nerve-wracking.
I bet. Weren't you wanting to glance up and look at everything, but you had to just keep your eyes down?
Well, I had a bit of a wobble as I went across there. And I'm not saying I did a bad job or anything, but 2 months later they dug it all up and relayed it.
On telly, did you say, look, there's my stripe?
Yeah, that's it. It was just before the Charity Shield final. And I was like, they were playing on the pitch, and I was like, oh, I'll cut that.
Brilliant. Oh, I love it.
As somebody who cuts grass, I mean, that's got to be right up there, hasn't it, for something to do? It was really amazing. I was chuffed to bits, really. It's fantastic. And since then, I've been to loads of places, and I've been down to Lords as well, and I've done loads of things within the industry. I get asked to go and look at sort of different things all over, and it's great because it's not just me that does this sort of work, around the local area. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of people up and down the country who are doing these types of jobs and sort of getting football and cricket on and rugby for children, and adults alike with Sunday League.
And Wimbledon, of course.
And Wimbledon, exactly.
Turf, yeah. I've just Googleated you on the YouTube, and the top one is I love it that you're Turf's top influencer, Jimmy Broadhouse. Yeah, Turf's you're an influencer.
An influencer. Yeah, there was an actual competition, and you got through and voted in this panel of voters, and I was about sixth in the world at one point.
Oh my goodness.
For a chap that cuts council pitches, and just tries to do his best and he's going about his daily work, that's a real honour to be up there with top groundsmen from from all over the world. But we say all over the world, the best people at maintaining and growing grass pitches right here in the UK. We are the best in the world at it. And there's people from the UK go all over the world. Running training courses, and they working even alongside the NFL and the people like that over in America. It's phenomenal, really. You being number 6, you do realise the responsibility, Jimmy. I mean, you've literally got a global platform to change the world now. I know, it is. It's a lot of social responsibility. That's what I always say. Whenever I'm doing videos and stuff, it's a social responsibility. I'm looking at mowers, I test equipment for manufacturers and things like that. And I have to give my honest opinion because it's my social responsibility. If somebody's spending money on something, I need to give them the full facts. And, I can't be swayed by sweeteners, as we say. I just give my honest opinion and that's it. And when we're fixing things, I have to do it properly and by the book because people are watching that because they want the information. So there's a lot to concentrate on all the time, really. Straight as an arrow, mate. Straight as an arrow. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Try to be. And on to the weather, Jimmy. Wow. I mean... It's not as if we can say, it's been bad for a couple of weeks. I think we're talking since the turn of the year. I know the grass doesn't grow early in the year, but how are you doing now? Yeah, well, it's before then. It started, didn't it, towards the end of September, beginning of October, and we never really had a winter. This is the problem. It wasn't cold for very long. We had, 3 or 4 frosts and 1 dusting of snow, I think. So when the ground temperature's sort of around 5 degrees C, grass will grow. And if you're professional sports pitches, they're cutting grass 52 weeks of the year. So it's a busy old time to do this. But you're sort of trying your hardest to keep everything going. But my goodness me, it's just so difficult to get out. We cut sort of football pitches and stuff right up until about beginning of December. Last year we didn't cut anything after the first cut in November, unfortunately. That was as far as we could get through. And then we're normally back on it end of February, beginning of March, and we just haven't. I think out of the 25 sites we've cut probably about 15 or 16 of them. And then with that, they've only been cut once. It's a real struggle at the moment. It really is. And there's a lot of games being cancelled. And I've got a lot of friends who are full-time groundsmen and cricket groundsmen and things. And the cricket season kicks off. The cricket season starts on the 20th of April. And actually, Shropshire have delayed the start of their season by 1 week. Because of the state of the... Because of the weather, yeah. They can't get on. They can't get on. These are... Some of these people are full-time groundsmen and they're there and they can't get their areas and pitches ready to play. So as amateur groundsmen, like myself, you're really struggling, aren't you, on different sites?
Well, just as a final question for everybody listening, let's get this down to front and back gardens. As a top influencer on turf, Jimmy, should we not be, even if we get a dry day, should we be staying off the lawn and not cutting it?
Yeah, well, it's all to do with how wet the ground is, because growing grass, we're great at growing grass in this country. We have a great climate for it. It's wet, not normally as wet as this, and we have plenty of sunshine in the summer, and the grass grows really well. But what you need is a good medium for it to grow on. So when you're walking across your wet lawn, you're compacting everything, and it goes down, and you squash all the air out of it, and it'll go as hard as a slab of concrete, and it's really hard for the grass to grow. So the grass might be dry itself, but if underneath the soil is wet, then unfortunately you should really stay off it if you can. I know it'll look a little bit longer and a little bit untidy for a while, but it'll pay dividends in the long run, and you'll end up with a beautiful striped lawn come sort of, May, hopefully, if things warm up and dry up. I hear we've got some warmer weather on the way, but I think with that comes warmer rain, unfortunately, at the moment.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, well, we've heard it from Turf's top influencer. Don't bother mowing. Excellent. Put your feet up. Put your feet up. Have a cup of tea. And there is actually one thing you can do, and if you can go out and put some holes in your lawn, punch some holes with an aerator of some sort. You can buy some sandals, quite cheap, with some spikes in the bottom, and walk across. And that'll help the water drain and help get some air down into the roots of the plant. And that will combat sort of all this wetness that we've had, especially some parts of the Midlands. We're on clay, aren't we? And it just sits on clay. It just doesn't go away. If you're lucky enough to be sort of on sandstone, it's more free draining, and it does help a great deal. But even those people are still struggling at the moment because the water table's so high. You talk to the Environment Agency, the rivers are full, pools are full. As soon as it rains, we've just got puddles everywhere, haven't we? It's just unprecedented at the moment. But keep my fingers crossed. When the warm weather comes, we'll all be out there, and everything will be growing like the clappers, and I'll be mowing 20 hours a day to catch up. Brilliant. Oh, how lovely to meet you. Thank you so much, Jimmy, for all the advice. And it's lovely to meet you as well and delve a little bit into you. I've no doubt we'll speak to you again. Yeah, no problem. Just give me a call anytime. I'm more than happy to have a chat. And I'm always out, when it's not raining, sat on a mower, and I've got a headset, and I'll chat to you live from wherever I'm cutting the grass. Oh, brill. Yeah, that'll be smashing. Live from the scene. Live from the scene, that's it. All right. Thank you very Jimmy. Much. Jimmy the mower. Thanks, sweet. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely Thursday afternoon. What a top bloke. We do introduce you to the most amazing people on BBC Radio WM, don't we? Very proud. Proud he's one of ours. Right, let's have a look at the road situation for you. We've gone 12...